And it's now time, the time you've all waited for. Let's get over to Seeking Alpha's Kim Kahn for next week's Catalyst Watch.
Thanks, Daniel. We'll get to the jersey in a second, but first we got to talk inflation. It's a very packed week of economic data next week, and that's the last full week of data that the Fed's going to get before its interest rate decision, the highlight being, of course, Tuesday's CPI. Morgan Stanley out today talking about expectations for a negative month-to-month print on headline CPI. That would be a big shift from just a couple of months ago. And for the headline year-over-year number to sink below 8%. That would suggest everything going in the right direction. But interestingly enough, if we had a big, miss on the downside for CPI and a much tamer than expected number, it could throw a bit of a wrench into the Fed's thinking, because Powell was out today reiterating his hawkish talk that they're going to do everything they can to control inflation. So it could bring back a bit of the 50 basis point talk, but right now we're kind of cemented in 75. Along with the CPI, we've got PPI on Wednesday, and then don't sleep on the Michigan inflation expectations component that also comes out on Friday. Now, talking about inflation, you maybe have seen recently how much English soccer teams spent on players this summer transfer window. It was almost $2 billion. And next week, we've got Manchester United earnings. Full disclosure, I am a fan, yes, but I am not a shareholder. And I've always kind of been interested in these sports teams that go public in the shares, because they're basically arbitrage propositions. You're basically kind of betting against a buyout happening or not. And the Glazer family, who is not loved at all by the Manchester United supporters, has had rumored to be looking at offers north of maybe $4 billion to sell the whole club, but nothing concrete. Fans would be happy with that. But, basically they want to see all the money not going to dividends. They want to see all the money going back in the team. So it's basically, you want your club just to break even. Tough if you're a shareholder.
Man, that's just those size and numbers are just, I can't even imagine. Just think about having $4 billion. Be like, all right, I'll liquidate and I'll buy a team today. Why not? We'll see what happens, right?
Yeah, and if you look what happened with Chelsea, and then, they've got their new owner. They replaced a Russian oligarch. They got an American billionaire. He decided to name himself the interim head of sports manager, and bought all the players, spent $300 million for a coach, and then fired the coach after 5 days. So it can be some wild times.
Yeah, it sounds like a prime opportunity, though, for some sports betting companies. They need to capitalize.
On who's the next manager fired and who's the next team taking over. Good odds.
Over and unders, right? That's all you need.
Yep.
All right, Kim. Well, go ahead and have a great weekend. We'll keep an eye on Man U next week. Thanks for the update.
Thanks.
Watch the full episode. You can find it at youtube.com/seekingalpha.